Which famous person's death, if they died tomorrow, would be the least surprising news ever? Keith Richards. I swear I remember thinking alright, he had a good run, when they got hospitalized after getting hit in the head with a coconut, and that was like, 20 years ago. Maybe not that long, but a long time ago. Also Henry Kissinger. Like, come on now, it's getting a bit ridiculous. Hank Russell Brand. The sexual assaults and harassment allegations against him have decimated his reputation, justifiable so, and he aspires to be perceived as the epitome of integrity and perspicuous to enlighten his benighted viewers. I don't think someone so hubristic can tolerate the ignominy. Newspapers have certain celebrity figures with pre-written obituaries, where only a few slots of text have to be filled in so a story is ready for release almost immediately when someone croaks. I wouldn't bet Britney Spears and Charlie Sheen are on that list. Maggie Smith. I will cry. I loved Hook so much as a kid, lol, but I won't be surprised. TBH, I can't believe she was in her 50s for Hook. No offense to her, she's just had this grandma age to me for decades now. I've been waiting daily to hear that Willie Nelson has died. Every time I go to a concert of his I say I just want to see him one more time. I'm up to 7 times. I'll be crushed for sure, but not surprised. Up until a couple of weeks ago, my answer for these was always Matthew Perry. Crying face, as much as it pains to be right, he just looked like he was decaying from the inside out and didn't have a lot of time left. Donald Trump. He's old, overweight, has a very poor diet, doesn't exercise, and is probably cracking from the fraud trial. Trump's death would be significant but not surprising. King Charles. Although it might not be the least surprising, I feel like everyone just waits for William to become the king. Don't report me, IDGAF. Not British. Not sure what is happening to Mitch McConnell, but I do not imagine whatever is occurring neurologically is good for his long or short-term health. Honestly, Donald Trump. Between him very unhealthy lifestyle, age, the assumption that Russians must want to silence him while they still can. Trump. That dude looked bad during his presidency, but the stress of these legal proceedings looks like it's aging him. But fast forward. I don't want to jinx it, but a famous actress from an iconic 90s ensemble not Friends is fighting a terrible cancer right now. I hate to say it and I hope I'm wrong, but Britney Spears. Her social media posts make it pretty clear she's not doing great. Anyone from Motley Crue? I have no idea how they're all still alive, even though Nicki has technically died before. I've been expecting Jimmy Carter for a while. Last person I knew that went into hospice care only lasted 3 days. Alan Jackson. He's kinda old and recently did say something about having a disorder that affects his movement. One is not named and I'm not going to jinx him. 97. Beloved director of the 2 funniest movies of all time. Michael Schumacher. Or would it be surprising because he has been in stable vegetable condition for so long? Philip Schofield. I've been awaiting his suicide for a while after an interview he gave after he was sacked. Delonte West, former NBA player who has suffered with bipolar disorder and has been homeless since retiring. That's Dickhead Mizzy or whatever his name is, who walks into people's houses and steals dogs as a prank. Given his diet and lack of exercise, I'd expect 45 to keel over anytime now, in his ass. Just so you know, I bet on Ozzy and Keith Richards in 2006 or so. There's a full list already made. Go on Wikipedia and look up members of American politics. Ozzy Osbourne, Keith Richards, Charles III, basically any musician over the age of 75. Bert Kreischer. I mean, I would hate for it to happen, but it wouldn't be a surprise at all. Nobody wants Robert Caro, 88 years old, to die before he finishes that last LBJ book. Henry Kissinger. Man is single-handedly increasing the life expectancy of Americans. Jack Nicholson. I cannot believe how many of his contemporaries he has outlived. How the fuck do I not see Putin in here? Dude's got to have a ton of enemies. Well, we all know Keith Richards is immortal, so any of his living bandmates. Keith Richards. That man must be more drugs than he is human at this point. Sir David Attenborough. He was born in 1928, thought he was already dead. Trump. He's a walking cardiovascular ticking bomb. Add a lot of stress. Andy Dick. Coke and lube are the only things holding that man together. Henry Kissinger, only because it's hard to believe he's still alive. Joe Biden. I like the guy, but he won't make it to a second period. Kodak Black. In interviews he oftentimes seems to be heavy on drugs. Young Thug would be dead if he didn't have to sober up in jail. Bam Margera. I'm surprised he's lasted this long, honestly. Pretty much everyone in top seats of American government. Sam Smith. He's clearly going through some very weird shit. Trump or Biden, really? Just these old dudes in politics. Clint Eastwood, people might be surprised that he's alive. Phil Collins. Isn't he bedridden or something already?